Chapter 1. A slow dance of sun and rain, the weather and us. I see quite a lot of our postmen. I work from home and receive a fair number of parcels, meaning he and I have become cheerily familiar, and have a well-worn routine whenever he calls. I go and open the door. He smiles and says, "Morning." I smile and say, "Hey, how's it going?" Then he rummages through his armful of envelopes for whatever it is that won't fit through the letterbox. It's in this après greeting stage of the situation that awkwardness could set in, for this is a potential minefield of modern etiquette. We're undertaking what is essentially a business transaction. He's providing me with a postal delivery service, and familiar though we are, it's not like we're poking each other on Facebook and going to the match together at weekends or anything. Having said that, he knows my name, my address, and that I subscribe to more magazines than I have the time to sit down and read. He knows I generally swan around in the mornings wearing a pair of Charlton Athletics shorts and an old Beach Boys t-shirt, because that's what I'm usually wearing when I answer the door. He knows the name of my girlfriend and where we have our bank accounts, and he could have an accurate stab at when our birthdays are. All information he can glean from the daily ritual of putting stuff into our letterbox. I, on the other hand, don't know anything about him, other than I think his name might be Neil and that he goes to Turkey for his holidays. So, when he knocks with a parcel and we've exchanged hellos, it's a textbook setup for a bit of mild social tension. What do we say to each other that keeps the relationship cheerful and informal but not intrusive? How do we fill these seconds that have us teetering on the precipice of embarrassment? Luckily, I have a foolproof way of diffusing any awkwardness, and it's one that I'm quite certain you're familiar with. I rub my hands together, look at the sky, squint slightly and say one of the following. "Hope we've seen the last of that rain." "Not as cold today, is it?" "Oof, that wind'll go right through you." "It's supposed to stay like this for the weekend, apparently." Neil, the postman, flat bats a suitable response back to me, hands me my parcel, and we bid each other cheery farewells until the next time. Thank goodness for the weather. That we talk a great deal about the weather is one of those copper-bottomed clichés underpinning our national identities. It props up our sense of self-esteem, that when we fall into conversation with a stranger at a bus stop, we have an inoffensive meteorological discussion instead of, say, asking if they've ever had a yeast infection or trying to tickle them. These conversations are never enlightening either. They'll rarely get to grips with curiosities like the time in June 1975 when Derbyshire played Lancashire at Buxton and there was a blizzard, the only instance of snow-stopped play in the history of first-class cricket. Or the fact that the French Revolution was triggered by a 1788 hailstorm in northern France that destroyed an already meagre harvest, led to food shortages and civil unrest and, ultimately, the storming of the Bastille. Usually, in these conversations, we're complaining about the weather. Most of the time, we're suspicious of it. Certainly, we're very distrustful of it. We're usually suspicious in our responses to it too. One sunny day, and we're counting the minutes until the next hosepipe ban. A flurry of snow, and we're predicting instant chaos on the railways due to the wrong kind of snow. On very rare occasions, we are actually pleased about it, but always with the shrugging caveat that it can't possibly last. It's our way of bonding with a stranger, of putting ourselves on the same side. Neither of us wants to sit or stand there in awkward silence, but neither of us wants an in-depth conversation about matters of great import either. We want to find ourselves on common ground, agreeing about stuff of little consequence, and then going our separate ways with the other thinking, well, he was a nice bloke. In a way, it's like a particularly lame version of the old Blitz spirit. We're united in our scanning of the skies. Only these days, we're looking for flecks of grey in the clouds instead of the bombs our grandparents were expecting to plop down their chimneys at any moment. Yet